Hey guys, today is August 30th. I'm going to do a quick analysis of Dollar Tree. Of the 800 or so companies that are over $10 billion in market cap, Dollar Tree is only one of maybe 5 stocks that are completely in the oversold zone. According to the RSI indicator, 40s sits in the oversold zone. So I wanted to just take a quick look at it. Zooming out a little bit, the stock has done exceedingly well over the years. But you can see one interesting thing about the stock is it has its ups and it's a lot more moving and shaking, if you will. On the long-term trend, yes, this has been an uptrend for quite a bit of time, as you can see. Not particularly within the zone, but it's traded very, very well for the last few years from the beginning. So I like the stock overall, does very, very well during times when it's very recessionary or inflationary because customers tend to focus on getting the most bang for the buck. So I'm going to move from, and it's been following off of a double top sometime in the June timeframe of last year. So I want to check this out. So I'm going to go from a monthly view. This is Dollar Tree monthly view. What it tells me is, yes, the stock has been going up, but this is a big jump. But notice that the interesting thing about a stock is it has a lot of downs, large red candles. So it's not as if the stock just goes steady up with a steady correction. This thing goes up and then falls like crazy pretty frequently. Going to the weekly chart from the monthly chart, again, look at these red candles. This week it was red. Look at this large drop red candle, another drop red candle, another one over here. This is consistently a lot of ledge candles that keep showing up. So as a stock, you got to be aware of the personality of this stock. It's trading down on a downward trend within the zone itself after a double top, as I mentioned. So if I look to move this out to the right a little bit, you see this double top that happened between the April 22nd timeframe, 22, sorry, timeframe and July 2022. After that, it has been on a consistent downtrend. Lower highs, a little bit of a higher low, higher high, and then lower lows again. So has been consistently on a downtrend. And then on earnings were roughly about a week ago or so. This is the earnings. On the 24th of August, they announced earnings. They beat earnings forecast, but the profit margin for the year, they lowered estimates, and they also lowered revenue for the year, saying that customers are just not spending as much, which is surprising given how some of the other retailers are doing fairly well. So now that you look at the chart from a weekly basis, when you look at the moving averages, they all seem to be pointing downward. So this is not going to go up anytime soon. Not a good stock to buy, but at the same time, it just bounced off of the support line within the lower end of the channel as well. So the support line was somewhere in the 121 timeframe, and it went to 121.8 and then bounced off of that to 124. So it's been a strong kind of couple of days when it's been trying to move a little bit forward. So not a double top, but looks like not perfectly, but looks like a head and shoulders view. Let me show you that. This is the left shoulder. This is a higher high, which is the head. So it's going a little bit slowly. So I'm going to copy that. And this is the head, higher high. This is the higher low following that head, which is not exactly symmetric. It's falling off of a wedge. So you can see in this line. So I'm going to delete this channel. So now that you know the channel is there, I'm going to show you that this is not exactly in the straight line, but it's going down somewhat. Still, head and shoulders on a downward trend, even within the smaller time frames. And then just took an absolute beating on the day of the earnings, on the day after the earnings. Went on a gap down from roughly the 140s all the way, ending up at 123. And then slightly moving up a little bit off of that 123 to 124.49. How would I trade this? I'm going to just keep this on a watch list. In fact, I'm not even sure this is going to be on the watch list. It's oversold, so you're definitely going to see a little bit of movement above. The stock is trading roughly at about a market cap of about 27 billion. And if you look at the earnings profile, and if you look at the financials of the company, It's not a bad company overall. Revenue growth is about 8% on a quarterly basis, quarter over quarter. If you go to an annual basis, it's roughly about the 7% for this year forecasted. Doing pretty okay for a company of that size, 28 billion in revenues on a market cap of 27 billion, for an operating income roughly in the range of about 2.2 billion. So it's roughly trading in the 10, 11 operating income times EV value range. So it's not perfect for a retailer, but it's a little bit high. But still, on and oversold. I mean, look at the RSI line. This is one of the worst. See what happens every time it goes to the absolute RSI line being low. This is one specific situation. RSI was absolutely low, jumps up a little bit. So this is roughly somewhere in the 133 to 143 range. So 10 points in about 6% to 8% range. So you should expect a 6%, 8% range. So 6% off of 123, 10% is 12, so 6% is about 7 points. So about 130, it should get to about 130, I think, in the next few days to the end of the month, just because it's so oversold. So if I was trading for a scalp for a couple of weeks and I wanted a 6% safe bet, and again, nothing is safe, but this one, I would probably only want to do that. But again, there are better plays in the market. I'm not necessarily sure you want to take this. You look at the downward trend. Another way to look at it is draw it all the way down to this end here. It's not looking good. So I wouldn't waste my time on this trade. But Dollar Tree was the stock I wanted to just give you a quick sense of what to look for. In terms of the moving averages, look at the slope of the moving averages, all pointing downward. Again, not a very good trade. The only reason you want to trade Dollar Tree is if you want to be able to get a small bounce of about 6% or so, or if you wanted to go for the real long term. Going then on last 6 months, you can see a little bit more of the same, but essentially two portions of the head, one portion of the head, one portion of the right shoulder. And you can see consistently, it just tends to, here's another localized, if you see double top as well. Two tops and then two shoulders. So it kind of looks the same even that one. This one looked weak for quite a bit of time, so I'm not surprised. But usually when it gets off of the falling wedge, you want to look for a return here. This is not going to be, based on the fundamentals, I don't see the stock doing anything at least till the end of the year, given that they reduced the profit forecast. But might be worth checking out a little bit later. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'd love to be able to get your feedback. And I appreciate it very much.